Yeah, those differences are pretty shocking. The two sides of Dearborn looking completely different depending on if you live on the east side or the west side. Tonight we're in East Dearborn, where you can still see behind us furniture, mattresses, and more piled up on people's front lawns. But over on the west side, it looks like nothing ever happened. Take a look. If you drive through East and West Dearborn, the differences are startling. On the west side, pristine lawns leave no hints devastating floods swept through parts of the city over the weekend. But on the east side, contaminated debris is still piled up on front lawns. We caught up with people who live on the east side who are overwhelmed, devastated, and frustrated with the city.
West Dearborn, they kind of give a little bit more care and attention.
People here have their own beliefs about why the east flooded, but the west didn't. Their claims include disparities in the city's sewer system between the two sides.
Making sure that the west is highlighted as the jewel for the city, and that the east is on a lower level.
West Dearborn is predominantly white, Caucasian. East Dearborn is made up of immigrants, people from the Middle East, black people, and so on.
So we brought their concerns to city engineer Mohammed Patel.
I don't believe that because I live in this city, I guess, since 1989. Always lived in East Dearborn. I love East Dearborn. It's just there is no disparity.
Patel says East Dearborn's sewer system does not have anything less than West Dearborn.
Nothing less, except east side is very crowded.
He says East Dearborn is more developed with more concrete and less grass than West Dearborn. He says that means water rushes into the sewers, which is partly to blame for the flooding.
As you create more grass area, the rain water doesn't go that fast as compared to impervious surface like concrete and asphalt. So in East Dearborn, every drop of rain just goes faster in the sewer system.
Patel also says West Dearborn's elevation is higher.
Ground elevation in West Dearborn is quite high. So when ground elevation is quite high, it gives added capacity for the sewer because now the velocity is faster. Topography in East Dearborn, the ground elevation is very, very low.
But while Patel is adamant there are no differences in the sewer system, some still aren't buying it.
It's ironic that the metaphor or the explanation that they gave because of the flooding was because that we're on lower land and they're on higher land. It speaks volumes to the inferiority and superiority complex that is happening.
Patel says that they are looking at different ways to address the flooding in those areas that are particularly prone to that rushing water. He says one possibility is separating wastewater from rainwater. We're on the east side of Dearborn tonight. Veronica Meadows, we'll send it back to you.
Well, Veronica, we know we have differences in topography for those neighborhoods, but we also know that aging infrastructure is a big problem in so many communities. How old is the sewer system there?
Yeah, Monica, well, Patel does admit that that sewer system was built before World War II, so he also, of course, acknowledges it is very old. But he specifically says here the age isn't necessarily the problem. He says the sewer system was developed by smart engineers back then, too, but he believes the bigger issue is all of that development that came after it.
Well, there's one thing. People want answers, and they want to make sure that this doesn't happen again. We'll talk more about it tomorrow night on Let It Rip. Thanks, Veronica.